Folks, it's a bad day for J. Prince Jr., J. Prince Sr., the whole Prince family, the whole Mob Ties collective are in a whole lot of trouble, okay? The biggest, baddest gangsters in Houston have gotten themselves in a mess that I don't know if they're going to be able to get out of. To be honest with you, it's no disrespect, but this situation is very serious, and there's a whole bunch of fallout, not just from the shooting of Ben 10, by All-Star JR, rapper from Detroit, who apparently got into it with J. Prince Jr. over a baby mama drama. Also, the very tragic murder of Takeoff from the Migos, where, you know, they're saying J. Prince Jr. was at the scene. There's a whole bunch of stuff going around that basically the Prince family have been involved in a lot of stuff, and their time might finally be coming to the end of the road, because it's being reported, and we've got to take this with a little a fistful of salt, but it's been reported that according to WAC 100, the Alphabet Boys, the feds, the FBI, the ATF, who knows, they're coming for the Prince family, okay? He posted, WAC posted, this has been reposted on Truth Teller TV. It says, "Welp, my Houston back door just tapped in." Pause. Seems to me like old J. Prince, respect, done scolded old Junior, J. Prince Jr. And as for old Lil Bulldog, don't let him punk you like that. Stand a man, the old man, as you can call, stand a man. I said stand up as a man. It don't really make sense. It says, don't let him punk you like that. Stand like a man. The old man, as you call him, don't run nothing outside of the nickel. Sincerely, the exposers. And he said, word is the Alphabet Boys are coming. So he's saying that the FBI are actually going to be on the Mob Ties empire. J. Prince Jr. might be in a lot of trouble. He's been associated with a lot of very messed up situations over the years. And according to WAC 100, their time might be running out. Now, look, I don't know for sure. I've not seen any other proof of this, but sometimes WAC be putting stuff out there. Sometimes it's true. Sometimes it don't quite add up. But he is saying that his Houston backdoor is telling him that the feds, the Alphabet Boys, are coming for the Prince family. Now, WAC would elaborate a little bit on his thoughts on what happened over there in Houston with Ben 10 on the No Jumper show. So let's hear what he said there. And then I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory, some other reactions going on, and some rumors that some very messed up stuff actually went down in the aftermath of Takeoff's murder. So let's hear what WAC said on No Jumper.
So allegedly, there's a rapper also
believe the NBA team really f with J. Prince and them like that. So they're insinuating Junior sit Ben 10 on a mission. I don't believe Ben 10 will allow himself to be. I don't think NBA young boy is going for any of his team being sit on a mission by anybody tied to that team.
But I mean, I feel like young boy doesn't have complete control over his homies. He might have some control, but
ain't no control. It's about what they doing and what they ain't doing.
So WAC's basically saying it don't make sense. Young boy in the NBA camp, they done had beef with Mob Ties and J. Prince over the years. It don't make sense. Why is Ben 10 frontlining for this situation? There must be more to the story than we know.
Now they say Junior in the building. Okay, he in the building. Junior got the bitch. It's his baby mama. Okay, he got his baby mama, right? But the fact that they saying Junior sent dude over there to rob him, unless dude that's in the hospital says that, They need to stop that.
So you're saying J. Prince Jr.'s baby mama was right up in that clip as well?
No. Oh boy.
Who?
The Detroit rapper.
Oh,
J. Prince fucking the bitch.
Oh, so that's what they think that the beef is.
And
over.
I guess allegedly they saying he put his hands on his kid, which I don't believe Junior would do no shit like that.
That sounds crazy.
He tender about a brawl. That's why he got his ass whooped by Bro. Bro, the R&B singer homie, whooped his ass real bad.
J. Prince's ass. What R&B singer was this? I forget.
You don't know?
I don't. There's too much.
Come on,
bro.
That's crazy.
J. Prince
That's crazy.
Jr. fight.
So look, all right, WAC's saying that he also doesn't believe that J. Prince Jr. put hands on All-Star JR's kid, and this was something that J. Prince corroborated in this message, all right? We've read this before, I'll read it again. It says, the internet is so capped. First off, I went to the restaurant by myself to meet OG3 for his birthday dinner. I didn't have not one of my guys with me, and everyone who was at the restaurant was there organically to celebrate the homie's birthday. I didn't know Buddy was there, and I'd just come from physical therapy and my aunt's birthday dinner, which is why I was dressed like that. Secondly, I would never harm a child. The little boy loves me to death, so you can chill out with that BS too. I understand your bloggers want clicks, but at least attempt to tell the truth. You'll make up anything. I was raised to handle business in private, but this new generation only understands what posted, not what's real. That's when the story gets one-sided and silence starts looking like guilt. So you got to speak, not for them, but to set the record straight. And he said he'll be sitting down to do an interview with somebody about this situation very soon. So WAC would go on to give a few more thoughts on this pod, and I'm going to show you some more stuff from outside.
My thing is, just because J. Prince Jr. was there, doesn't mean he had involvement.
No, definitely. I mean, that's an easy narrative to spin if he's just there. You know, they're always going to take the most famous person in the room and loop them in.
Now, on the flip side, he does have sealed files. 6ix9ine did tell me he's a rat, and he been known for, taking things from certain individuals who didn't want to give it up.
With Jay Prince Jr., I don't know anything about that, but
he got sealed files, bro. It's a fact.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I know him. I didn't see the scary side of him. Scared as a mother,
like
petrified.
him being scared.
Like, bro, don't let him get me and tripping and out in blue. Swear to God, bro. I'm like, nigga. That's why when he be doing all this, this slow talk shit. That is not you.
Oh yeah.
So he said some pretty explosive claims, right? He's initially saying, well, just because Jay Prince is there doesn't mean that he was involved. But then he's also saying that he got a serious reputation. They're saying he got a reputation of taking things from people who don't want to give it up. Now, I heard some stuff about that. Might not be quite what you think, but there's some pretty negative rumors that have been attached to him over the years. Now, a lot of people have been popping out to basically give their thoughts on Jay Prince Jr. and basically say they're not fucking with him. Another guy who was tapped in with a mob ties at one point, my guy Finesse 2 Times, who ironically, he's popping off on YouTube right now. Shout out to Finesse 2 Times, man. He having motion on his channel, but he's been popping out basically giving the goods up on how he feels about the Prince family and how he was dealt with. He claimed in a viral clip that's been going around that Jay Prince Jr. actually manipulated him in his deal, and he never knew how much he even signed over to him. So Jay Prince Jr. got a lot of enemies out here over the years.
He manipulated me into believing that we was doing a partnership deal. The contract says that it's a partnership deal. But then the body of the contract, I'm basically an artist. So you dressed it up to where I can see it as a partnership, like you my man, you my partner, you my guy. Just like when I found out about the royalties, about you being able to quarterback my play. I ain't never said you can quarterback my motherfucking play. I ain't know that, nigga. If I'd have knew you was finna quarterback my motherfucking play, and I'm finna go get $5,000, I'd have changed it. I'd have never signed with you. I'd have knew then you were full of shit. The fuck you talking about quarterback my play? We partners. We both gonna quarterback this shit. You can quarterback, I'm gonna run it back, or I can quarterback and you can run it back, nigga. You can wide receiver, catch this bitch or whatever, nigga. But I ain't just know you. They got the contract drew up where I can't go in there and say nothing. But it's a partnership deal. Fuck out of there. Straight through this shit.
So there's a lot of reasons that people don't like Jay Prince Jr. One of the other things that's obviously massive is the murder of Migos rapper Takeoff. Now, this happened at a Houston bowling alley. Jay Prince Jr. was in attendance, and a lot of people didn't like the way that he handled things. Now, basically, it says Takeoff was shot to death after a private party hosted by Jay Prince Jr., the son of the Rap-A-Lot co-founder Jay Prince, at a bowling alley in downtown Houston in the early hours of November the 1st, 2022. Investigators said the shooting erupted after a dice game where Takeoff's uncle, Quavo, got into an argument with those playing the game. So, what's really crazy about this is this was never solved. That's because allegedly the person that did it was murdered a few days after. Now, what I'm about to tell you, these are all reasons why the feds might be looking into Jay Prince Jr. and his father, okay? Because a lot of people were very upset about what happened with Takeoff. Jay Prince Jr. was in attendance. He was actually seen hanging out on good terms with the likes of Takeoff and Quavo back in the day, back when things were good. Things were all good. Just a week ago, or however long ago this was, they were locked in, hanging out, having a good time.
Slide through the town, man. Slide through the town.
Now we get down.
Got the birthday boy with me.
Yeah.
Slide through the town.
Now we get down.
Got the birthday boy with me.
Yeah, also.
Yeah, we on the 5th. Yeah, the 5th ward. Like this motherfucker. Now I got one for you now.
So look, they was all good in Houston. They was all hanging out, having fun, going to Jay Prince Jr.'s birthday party. But this viral video after Takeoff was killed, you know, it depicted apparently Jay Prince Jr. walking past the body. And this is titled "Jay Prince Jr. nonchalantly walks away from the scene while Quavo tries to pick Takeoff off of the floor." So that was reportedly the mob ties walking through and just walking away, and a lot of people felt it was disrespectful. Now, Jay Prince Sr. would even respond to everything that happened with the Takeoff death, and ironically, he would point the finger at some other people in a few viral clips.
I wanted to ask you about with, I believe it was Junior, they said he walked by. What is that all about?
You know, one of the biggest lies that was told, he walked by, you know, Takeoff body as if he was heartless and didn't care. In reality, you know, Junior, my cousin Michael Press, that's here with, shout out Mike, you know what I mean? They was there with Takeoff from the beginning to the end. You know what I mean? You know, even when they walked by, the walk by part, it took 3 seconds of an hour in some situation when Mike and Junior was walking by. He actually went in the restroom to wash blood off his hand where he had reached up on the Takeoff. He had to pick him up and his fingers went in.
So he's basically saying, actually, my son was there. He was trying to help out. And Jay Prince Jr. would also suggest in another interview that he had actually stayed with Quavo the rest of the evening, or, you know, for quite a long period of time while this was going on. Now, I don't know how true this is, but this is what he
I stayed with Quavo. We stayed out there probably like 2 or 3 hours together before we all parted ways and made sure each other was cool. Like, me and him stayed out there. Like, one other person pulled up, but it was me and him that stayed out there for hours after this transpired. So I stayed.
So he's saying that he stayed out there with them for hours. Now, Jay Prince Sr. would interestingly actually seemingly
I ain't gonna leave him out. You know, I'm just real like this, you know, because, you know, niggas be throwing rocks and hiding their hand, right? They be throwing rocks and hiding their hand. And I don't like them kind of individuals. You know, and the truth of the matter is, you know, one can dance and different things in front of these different cameras and all that kind of shit. And when reality, the truth of the matter is, you know, nigga, you wasn't really right there with Takeoff when he was alive. You know what I mean? So for you to be a clown that came here, I wish he wouldn't have never came with Quavo. I wish he wouldn't have never brought this nigga into Houston, because he can't think. You know what I mean? This whole root of everything happening is from his actions. And to be frank, honest about the situation, I wish that bullet would have hit him instead of Takeoff, because he was the one that deserved that.
But a lot of people aren't feeling it. People saying nobody deserves a bullet over words. Don't wish death on nobody because you ain't coming back from that. People saying Jay Prince moved in silence for decades and now he's falling apart the same way a fish does, by opening his mouth. Jay Prince says, be careful when you wish death upon somebody. So the comments are hating on him. Super, super hating on him, okay? And interestingly enough, ironically, he would say in another clip that basically, you know, they have years of honor and history and stuff like this never happens, and except when it does.
Nothing should have happened. What do you say to that?
What I would say to that is, you know, I have a track record, man, and the Prince family have a track record of 30 plus years of, you know what I mean, honoring and loving on our guests and being with our guests, and no shit like this never happened. But here's the thing, and this is what people don't understand. We ain't never had nobody to attack us. If you know what I mean. You know, when a man attack a situation with a weapon, then, you know, it become a playing field where, you know, any and everything goes. So that's what we're dealing with right here, and that's the root of this situation.
So everybody's hating on Jay Prince Sr. for this. They're saying it's $1 million worth of clownery for this interview alone. They're saying Daddy stepping in to clean up Junior's mess. Saying he's watched The Godfather too many times. Saying what I heard was, yes, we did it, and it never would have happened if that one person didn't attack first, period. Nothing more, nothing less. People says the end is near. You can hear it in his voice. No way a real boss does anything like that. Okay. The more Senior talks, the more he proves that he's worse than Junior. He should have remained silent. He better not take the stand with that. Why aren't they asking that guy that wasn't there anything at all? He wasn't even there. So it's like Junior and Senior switch positions. Senior's supposed to lead by example by checking Junior on making better decisions. Period. All that being said, and we still don't know who killed Takeoff. Spill it. You already dry snitching. Now, there was a lot of disrespect, and I'll tell you about who killed Takeoff in a minute. But, okay, Jay Prince would spark outrage with his memorial for Takeoff at the site of his killing. So this was going viral. People were very upset. They basically weren't feeling the memorial that was left at the site of the killing. Basically, this was a memorial set up at the scene of the murder outside the bowling alley, and they released doves. But some people weren't feeling it. After the video, fans expressed displeasure over it. Many people were upset that the Prince family were in flowers and not Takeoff's. Were upset that the Prince family was in flowers. Was it in the? Did it say the Prince family? joking. It's not it's a memorial to their own family. It says H-Town Unlimitless Prince family. So it's a memorial to themselves. That's actually disgraceful, to be honest with you. That's actually a complete disgrace. The Prince family. Why would you put your name above where this murder took place? You kind of putting yourselves in it a little bit. Is they thinking there's some big gangster power move, like we're going to claim it, we're going to rep on it? That's actually insanity. People saying Jay Prince will never see heaven. They're saying this was low-key insulting and I don't like it, tweeted another fan. So it was actually extremely disrespectful the way that they did that, putting up a memorial in their own name. The Prince family. That's insane. That's actually insane. I can't believe that. But anyway, okay, the rumor has it, all right, that the man that actually killed Takeoff was killed soon after. And this is why a lot of people think the feds might be coming.
You saw what happened.
Too much going on.
Allegedly, the young man.
There's a bunch of viral clips going around where people have said on places like Vlad TV that the person that killed Takeoff was killed soon after.
You saw what happened. Allegedly, the young man who allegedly killed Takeoff, now he's dead and gone.
Yep. But no.
So see, it sounds like some cleaning house went on, okay? And Seti Nash would break this down too in a bit more detail in another video.
Lil Kim death. Lil Kim has passed away. Joshua Isaiah Cameron, popularly known by his nickname Lil Kim, is confirmed dead following a shooting in Houston tonight. According to reports, the singer, who was originally from a small town in upstate South Carolina, died a few days after Migos rapper Takeoff was shot to death at a bowling alley in Houston. Lil Kim, who was seen in the viral video in a yellow or orange hoodie, was standing right by Takeoff a few minutes before the shooting. That man is not dead, bro. Let me stop y'all real quick. Just stop and think for 2 seconds. So Jay Prince Jr. and Mob Ties would have asked him out because he did what he was supposed to do? No. That's number one. Number two, do y'all realize that that's conspiracy on top of conspiracy on top of multiple murders now? Do y'all realize how fast that RICO would come in? Do you realize the whole entire Prince family would be in jail right about now? I don't hear nothing but win. It didn't happen. It makes zero sense. Do you understand the heat that would be on them cats for that? The police would actively have to go after these cats, because one thing you can't do is have one mysterious killing on top of another mysterious killing. Do I believe the police know who did it? Absolutely. 100% wouldn't deny it. But do I think they would put out something so egregious? There's other reports that say the police already named him as a person of interest. No, they didn't. They was talking about Buddy with the S hat on. So that's the second thing. The third thing, and the biggest thing, is this. How it looks, it looked like possibly a soldier following orders. You won't have any soldiers if the soldier is sat up here not taken care of. Because on top of that, y'all know he got family up over there. So you mean to tell me that his family just gonna let y'all slide on him and won't do nothing? Nah, buddy. Nah. And the type of dude that is allegedly, if he was to do that, that's a big if he did it, why would he trust y'all? Especially after that statement your daddy made. Come on, bro. Certain things gotta make sense and certain things don't. And this don't make sense. Because as soon as the first bullet would have popped off, bro, I'm telling you right now, you would have had to make sure that you killed this man. Because if he would have lived, he could have went ahead, turned snitch. Because the case would be basically this. Multiple counts of conspiracy, multiple counts of murder, multiple counts of witness intimidation. Did we not hear the police officer say 40 people left with zero statements? Yeah, that's a RICO right there. And I'm not a prosecutor, but I'm pretty sure I could whoop your ass with that. But y'all let me know y'all comments. Subscribe, turn on that bell to stay notified so you can catch this stuff live. If it don't come from Nash or somebody I rock with, pass.
So there's rumors that this is actually a fake death and that they're pretending that he's dead. So there's a bunch of really interesting stuff going around on Reddit where they basically say that Lil Cam got arrested in connection with the bowling alley incident. And it says Cameron Joshua, 22, was arrested Tuesday, November 22nd. Was arrested for unlawfully, intentionally and knowingly possessing a firearm at a location other than the premises where the defendant lived. Okay? But basically they're saying it was arrested for a gun in his possession of the night of the murder, but he wasn't arrested initially in connection to the murder. This would be going around. People would say Quavo was arguing with Jay Prince Jr. and when he walked off, Lil Cam shot Takeoff in the head and then used him as a human shield. The Prince family is shook, getting death threats, and they're allegedly hiding the dude, Lil Cam, with the yellow hoodie. So there's rumors that he's dead. Now they're saying it's a fake story. People are saying Lil Cam 5th ain't dead. Fake story going around he is. Let me know when you get actual news. report on a young man being shot in the 5th Ward because that fake ass blog post isn't true. It said in the video he ain't dead and they're hiding him. All right. So this is a crazy story. I've never seen anybody doing a fake death to cover up a murder. Okay. And it was going around everywhere that two suspects had actually been charged. So Cameron Joshua, Lil Cam 5th, and then Patrick Xavier Clark would also allegedly be charged with a murder. And I don't think that this has gone to trial or anything yet. This is from Takeoff's Wikipedia page, where it basically says the Houston police reported on it, and they basically said that 2 other people had been shot during the incident, and basically it says Joshua Cameron, known as Lil Cam 5th, was detained in Houston, and Patrick Xavier Clark believed that the Clark shot actually killed Takeoff, and Clark was indicted by a grand jury for the murder of Takeoff, and basically we're still waiting for a result as far as how this trial is actually going to go down. So he was on $1 million bond. There have been rumors going around that actually, Mob Ties might actually be paying for the lawyers and stuff like that in this situation, but it's still really unclear, and it's a whole mess going on. So Sadie Nash would also only a few weeks ago touch on basically the rumors of the alleged killer of Takeoff having a whole legal team, and people wondering how he was paying for that.
Attorneys for the 33-year-old Patrick Xavier Clark spoke out following the preliminary hearing, saying they don't want their client to be tried in the court of public opinion and plan to fight to ensure that he receives a fair and unbiased trial. Yeah, we're going to stop right there. So now we have a dilemma. We have a crazy dilemma. We have a dilemma to remember, because how is it that you couldn't make bond before? You had a benefactor, a rich uncle, like they say, right? They say you got a rich uncle. All right, cool. Right. Something hard to believe about that. But on the papers, it does show. So even though I find it hard to believe, it don't matter what I believe. What the paperwork says, it says, hey, this man right here who ain't Jay Prince paid for it. But y'all know how Sadie Nash do, the hood lawyer for a reason. Jay Prince has done used this lawyer before as well. Let me read y'all 2 interviews before I do. So he has an article. It's funny because it says Star Wars. Let's get that up out of here. It's Star Trek over here, so we're going to scribble that up out of here. Thank you. Famous and in trouble, Kid Schaefer's your man. Meet 3 celebrities who were glad to have Houston's lawyer to the stars. So basically, it goes on, and I'm only going to read like the first paragraph. A lot of people in my field tell you how wonderful they are, how smart they are, says Kent Schaefer. I kind of let my results talk for me. Fellow attorney at Channel 2, legal analyst Brian Weiss, who has known Schaefer since 1980 and worked with him on countless cases, says Schaefer's results have earned him the pinnacle status in the legal community. Pound for pound, says Weiss. He's the best at what he does. That's like a Brian Steele or a Drew Finley. You hear what I'm saying? So let's go to the first person, right? Tom Sizemore. In September 2011, Sizemore, a 90s Hollywood fan favorite, was arrested for allegedly violating probation from an old battery charge plagued by addiction and rehab stints his career was suffering. Taking his case, Schaefer explained to a Los Angeles judge that, in fact, Sizemore was not in violation, that his previous attorney hadn't filed proper paperwork on time, and that any further probation would actually harm the embattled actor. The judge agreed, terminated Sizemore's probation 18 months early. What? Y'all got to remember, these lawyers don't win every case. It's really about you not getting hit with life sentences. And then we got this man right here. Let's take him back all the way to almost 20 years ago. Prosecutors dismissed assault charges in Jay Prince's gym beating case. Now, this article is pretty good, so I'm going to be honest. It's a hell of a read. The Harris County District Attorney's Office has dismissed aggravated assault charges against Jay Prince, founder and CEO of Houston's Rap A Lot Records. Rap A Lot announced today. The charges stem from a January 2007 incident at Prince's Prince Complex Gymnasium, where Studio 7303 owner Ronnie Bookman alleged Prince ordered him beaten up because he would not sign a contract selling part of his interest in 7303, a local recording studio. Before the criminal charges were filed, Bookman had filed a $10 million civil suit against Prince. A criminal trial had been scheduled for August 4th, but after reviewing Bookman's deposition in the civil case, prosecutors decided to drop the charges according to the Rap A Lot statement. In the deposition, Bookman admitted to numerous violations of state and federal law, including money laundering, mortgage fraud, tax evasion, and several acts of perjury. In addition, Bookman provided a version of the offense that was in wide dispute with his previous versions and that of other witnesses. This case was about Ronnie Bookman trying to use the criminal justice system to enrich himself at the expense of James Prince. And his plan was exposed, revealed, and rejected. Prince's attorney, Kent Schaefer, said, "Ain't that the name we just got done saying? They playing in our face, bruh." Now, I I ain't saying Jay Prince got anything to do with this, but if y'all recall years on before, the no order contact that had existed, remember, they had the whole entire Prince family. But after a little while meaning in the same damn week, we actually find out that no contact order with the Prince family had actually been released. So he could talk to the Prince family all damn day. Ultimately, he's going to beat the case, and he's going to beat the case because of technicalities of how they handled the DNA, aka the bottle that was left. Remember, they're saying based off of computers and cameras that he was the only one who could have fired that shot. Process of elimination. But how they obtained the freaking bottle, all of these things and everything, that's what's going to be. Takeoff will get no justice. It is what it is. And to be fair, Takeoff being shot by this man allegedly ain't even his fault. It's the other dude who came with Takeoff and whatever the hell the other cuz's name is, Quavo. So
look, Sadie Nash is saying that even with this bulletproof legal team, all right, Takeoff's killer might beat it, but there might be some technicalities too, because as I saw in this earlier article, it basically says the murder of Takeoff is part of 400 cases that are flagged for forensic failures. So they might end up beating this, but also it does, according to WAC 100, hey, the Alphabet Boys are definitely looking into the Prince family. So look, I'm going to be following this very closely. I do feel like the Prince family have been involved in a lot of crazy stuff over the years. This All-Star JR situation with Ben 10 is only the latest in a series of very tragic events that have unfortunately been connected to this family. They got all the money, they got that Drake money, they got all that lawyer money, but who knows, man? I feel like the feds probably do have a sore spot for the Prince family, and they probably do want them to face justice in any way that they can. So we're going to have to keep track of this. I think that there's a lot of heat on these guys. You know, it's no disrespect, but they definitely are wilding out in those Houston streets. So if I hear any more, I'll keep you guys updated, but it could be a long day if, as WEC 100 says, the Alphabet Boys do get involved. So yeah, that's it, guys. I'll see you in the next video.